Today's episode of Live and Amplified's Indie Fusion podcast is brought to you by In a Jam Down by the River. It is a 3-day Americana music festival that takes place at Mountain Breeze Campground in New Braunfels, Texas from October 17th to the 20th. Join us at In a Jam Down by the River. For more information and ticket prices, please visit inajamdownbytheriver.com, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode of Live and Amplified's Indie Fusion podcast. We are live. Let's get ready to podcast.
Fire it up.
Yeah!
So how's the music going?
Been good, man. I'm getting back into it. I kind of took a little break. Not for any real reason. Other just was working so much, didn't feel like booking and doing both. Mm-hmm. But I missed playing, so I'm getting back into it. Got a gig coming up this next weekend, and then we got three nights back to back coming up, so that'll be fun. I just got to start booking more.
Are you trying to book more down this way, or you stay up in Fort Worth?
I'd like to do more just around Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting too old to drive too far, man.
I wish my body got that memo.
Yeah, I just driving into Waco today. It's like 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah,
man, this feels like a long drive,
especially coming from Cranfell's Gap.
Yeah,
it's funny because it's like I drive through. Whenever I go out to New Mexico, I drive through all those small towns. Like I'll go past Hyco and Dublin and all them cities, and it's just like, man, this is the part of Texas that I wish I was a little bit more knowledgeable in.
Yeah,
because like a lot of people don't know that Dublin was like the Dublin Dr. Pepper story and all that stuff.
That was a big deal, man. If you could find Dublin Dr. Pepper, you were doing good.
Yeah,
it really was better.
Really.
It was made with real sugar.
Okay.
Instead of corn syrup, they were like the last bottling company to use real sugar still for Dr. Pepper, and you could tell a difference.
Yeah. And then now I've heard rumors that it's still out there. You just got to kind of.
Well, where they were making the Dublin Dr. Pepper, they still make sodas there. Mm-hmm. It's like called Dublin sodas now, and I think they've got a Dr. Pepper clone.
Yeah,
so I don't know how. I haven't tried it.
Yeah.
But I think they're pretty close.
Fair enough. But we got Kevin Wayne Johnson joining us here on the podcast today. Glad to have you here, man. It's been
glad
a while.
to be here, man. It's good to see you. Yeah.
I feel like we're always trying to do stuff like this. I was talking to somebody on the podcast last night. I was like, yeah, I got the studio set up, and then all of a sudden everybody disappeared on me, and I'm like, sick. Because then Dustin was down in where's he down? Butte? No, he's not in Butte.
Bastrop.
Bastrop. There it is. He's down in Bastrop, and then everybody else is down in College Station or up in Dallas.
Everybody's around somewhere, man.
So
it's people just go.
Right. Well, you've been visiting back home down in Cranfell's Gap, where you're originally from. How's it feel? How did it feel to be home for a little bit?
It was really nice, actually. I always enjoy visiting there. It's just real peaceful. Like it's just. It's quieter and slower there, and it's nice. I really enjoy it, and the place where I was staying was really nice. So, yeah, I've enjoyed it a lot.
It was good to be back near because your family's still down.
My dad still lives there. Yeah,
it was good to be back around him.
Oh yeah. I got to see him a few times, and then my grandparents live in Clifton, which is just 20 minutes down the road. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh yeah, drive through Clifton quite a bit. So,
yeah.
It's always good times.
Clifton's a nice little town too. I lived there for a while. It's a good place.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've loved about living here is talking to everybody, talking to all the people that have been in the area for a really long time. Like one of the guys I work with, he lives out in Robinson now, and he's been in Waco his entire life, other than like a 2-year stint where he went up to Dallas and got into a whole situation up there. But it's it's cool to kind of hear the local history and talk about life before Magnolia came into play.
Oh yeah, here in Waco.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, that made such a huge difference. Like it's crazy, just how much, and it's still so busy down there. It blows my mind.
Right.
I mean, good for them. No shade on them at all. But
and they're growing. Like what'd they do? Open up a Discovery? Like Discovery opened up an office down here somewhere.
Really?
I don't know where it's at, but supposedly like Discovery has an office down here somewhere out in like Woodway or something. And
that's cool.
it's like, dang.
Yeah, Waco's blowing up, man.
Right. And I found out this morning that so I'm a Chicago Bears fan, that Mike Singletary went to Baylor. I didn't know that. He's a defensive. He was on the 85 Bears that won the Super Bowl. And I tried to tell my dad that, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I knew that. I knew you went to Baylor." And I'm like,
Did you really?
"Dad,
Did you?
stop. I guarantee you didn't even know what Baylor was before I moved here." So
Yeah, I lived in Waco. What year is it? 2024.
yeah,
I lived in Waco right after I graduated high school. I moved here from Cranfell's Gap, and just the growth, but that was 20 years ago. So, I mean, everything grows in 20 years, in some way. But it's just changed so much. But it still feels like a small town to me. Like it's interesting, and it may just be because I know it pretty well, because I spent quite a bit of time here. But like it just feels, because it's big.
Yeah, oh yeah. I think it was one of those situations where they didn't want to grow too fast. Like once. Like the national spotlight was on them after 93 when the Davidian thing happened.
Sounds right. Somewhere around there.
And then that happened, and then RG3 came in and like really put a spotlight on. There was the West explosion, like all these things that are kind of putting the spotlight on the place. And they're like, okay, well, in my thought process was like, okay, they kind of had a feeling that this was all going to go away at some point. Yeah. So let's not expand the infrastructure too much.
Yes.
And then Magnolia came in, and then after COVID, everybody started moving to Texas, and now it's like, oh, we got to start expanding quickly.
Yeah, we got to build some stuff and build bigger roads.
Yeah.
Do endless road construction.
You go out to like West, and it's like growing. Like I try, because in the back of my head, it's like, if I'm going to stay out here, I'm going to go move out to like West or something. West seems like a really nice town, and every time I go out there, it's like, oh, hey, how you been? And just stuff like that. And it's like, I'd like to move out here. And then you go look at the property prices, and it's like, yeah, I'm not moving out.
Insane.
I'm not moving out to West for this.
Anybody can afford anything anymore.
Right. So how's the music been? How you just recently kind of started? You were taking a little bit of a hiatus.
Yeah, I took a little break from like playing shows and really writing too in general. I just kind of like, there was a point where I didn't touch my guitar for a month. Like I just left it in the case and just was like, and not for any negative reasons or anything. I just didn't have the urge to do it, and I think it was good because it made me realize that I actually missed it when I wasn't doing it, which is a good feeling. It's like, oh yeah, you should be doing that because you miss doing it when you don't do it. So, but yeah, getting back to it now. I'm starting to book. I've got a few shows lined up for September and October, and just wanting to book more. I know I'm kind of late. Places fill up quick, but start making some phone calls and some emails and get back out there. I miss doing it.
Nice.
And it's because it's so much fun. And trying to write more. I haven't been writing much, but I think that's about to change. Cameron Smith, right? Yeah. He and I think we were talking about it last night or day before yesterday about trying to write a song every day in September.
Nice.
Like they don't have to be good. You just have to turn something in, and if you don't, you get kicked out of the club or whatever. So that'll be good to get the wheels moving on the writing process.
He out of Fort Worth?
Yeah, he's in Fort Worth as well, yeah.
I knew he was somewhere up there. I couldn't remember 100% where he was at. Yeah. I just see him he's always doing something.
I got to meet him at the Jam last year. And he's just a great dude, man, and such a talented writer and musician. It's just it's good to get to know him. Yeah,
I love the idea of doing a challenge like that, song every day in a month or whatever it is, because and especially when you kind of make it so that it's not about being good, but just kind of getting
Just
in the process
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the process of doing it, I think that just opens up so many opportunities and maybe clears like a log jam that might be happening.
Yeah.
Because, you talk to so many musicians and they're like, man, I just got this one thing in my head that I can't get out.
Yeah.
And it holds up their entire creative process.
Sure,
and
sure.
so it's like, by forcing yourself to kind of just get all
Just
this.
get it out.
Yeah.
Just get something down. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to doing it. I think it'll be good for me, and I'm glad someone else is doing it with me, because like I'm not a very good like taskmaster on myself, like I'll let myself slip pretty good,
Fair.
So it's good to have some accountability.
Right. I started doing the same thing with the podcast. I'm trying to do 100 episodes in 100 days.
Yeah.
This is, what did I count? This is episode 76.
Right on.
So we're on day 72, but this is like episode, because we're a little ahead of schedule right now.
That's rad, man.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, it started off as I had a bunch of stuff in the back pocket, but I still had podcasts that were like on the schedule. So I was like, you know what, let's just do it every day and see how many we can get out in a row. And I had a couple friends that were doing something similar with like videos or music or whatever. And I was like, why can't I do this with the podcast?
Yeah, that's a really cool idea. That's great, man. From what I see online, it looks like you've been doing a lot of stuff. And you went to Nashville recently?
I was out there in, was it June? Yeah.
Right on. How was that?
It was cool. It was, that was expensive.
Yeah.
But then again, I also made some poor decisions because I didn't know, I went out there for CMA Fest. I didn't know how CMA Fest worked. I didn't know how the parking worked. I didn't really know how any of that stuff worked. And I kept trying to ask my contact at CMA. I was like, hey, I don't usually come into town for stuff like that. Like I went in for CRS in February and it was all in a hotel and it was easy. Like you just paid for the parking at the hotel and then you were good. Well, all they kept telling me was there was, public parking available. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell that, like, I don't know what that means. Like, I mean, I know what public parking is, but like, is it, because they had me in one of the like Music City Center or whatever. I was like, do they have public parking or am I going to have to like park 5 miles down the road, And then they sent me this thing for a parking pass at Nissan Stadium. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to buy this. And so in that way, no matter what, I at least have my parking covered. Yeah. Nissan Stadium was 5 miles away. And I was just like... and so it was like a $200 parking pass for 4 days. And I'm just sitting there. They're like, but it goes to the school, or it goes to the CMA music program for kids or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like,
I mean, you got to park somewhere.
Yeah, you did that. And then I was driving around and I pulled into the Music City Center and they had a parking garage and I pull up and they're like, yeah, it's $20 a day. And I'm like, you fucking kidding me right now? Like, and it was like right on the floor I needed to be on. So it was just like walk from wherever I parked into the thing, take an elevator up, take an elevator down. And because you had like how it was kind of laid out was a little wonky, but it was just like the easiest thing in the world. And I was like, well, they got me for my 200 this year. They ain't going to get me next year. But
that's rough, man.
So, but other than that, it was good. I got to meet a lot of Texas artists, which was really
that's
cool.
right. I saw pictures. It looked like you're quite a few.
Yeah. Jake Worthington was really cool. I think he's technically more Oklahoma now, but he's from Texas here. And, just a bunch of really cool Texas people.
Right on, man.
Yeah. But, how's the, like, now that you're kind of back in the swing of things with like writing and trying to book and all that fun stuff, how's the writing process been?
It's been good. I haven't been able to finish anything recently. I've got a lot of ideas, I think that's one good thing that this September challenge is going to do is force me to finish things, which it's not like a perfectionist deal or anything. It's just lose my train of thought too easily or something. I think the phone has ruined my concentration,
Yeah, I think it's ruined everybody's concentration.
Yeah, I think so. So maybe we should all start writing like 30-second songs.
Right.
Just...
Honestly, for TikTok or Instagram or any of that stuff, probably wouldn't be the worst.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't. And it's just... You know, it seems to be all TikTok is that I see is just one person doing the same clips of their songs in different locations over and over again. You know, so just gotta write that hook.
Right.
You know.
And then you and Dustin released a song. It was last year's jam?
It was last year. We released it before last year's jam, if I'm remembering right. Did we? Is that right? Yeah. Right around the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think you guys were playing, or either it was during your set or his set that it had just been released.
Yeah, because we played it at my set.
Yeah.
It was the first time we played it. Yeah, man, and it's been really cool to watch it. It's like still my most streamed song, and every week it's like, man, more people are listening to this. This is cool. Like it's been rad, you know. It's been fun to watch it grow.
Nice. Now, are you still going by Back Row King, or are you doing Kevin Wayne Johnson?
Yeah, I'm doing, Back Row King. That's the plan for releases and most of the shows. But a lot of local stuff, like around, like especially close to home.
Yeah.
I've been putting my name on stuff just because it's less confusing.
Yeah.
For people. People are like, "Who's Back Row King? What is it?" And it's like, "Oh, Kevin Johnson. Yeah, I know that guy. I'll go see him."
Yeah.
But it's been a weird. To be perfectly honest with you, it's been an interesting. I still haven't really leaned into it one way or the other.
Right.
I still like the idea of it.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it more than the practice I've put into practice. But it's. I think for any future releases, I'll probably still do them under Back Row King.
Nice.
I just. I don't know. Kevin Johnson's just such a generic name. I feel like,
It's one of those things where I totally get where you're coming from, because if you just type in Kevin Johnson into
there's
Spotify,
so many, so many, and now I have like the domain name for Back Row King, which I'm pretty stoked on. And I've got like an email address. It's like @BackRowKing, so which I need to start using. I never check it.
Right.
I like that. I still like the idea of the Back Row King concept. It's just one of those things you got to explain to people,
Right. Yeah, fair enough. You just got to fully commit to it.
Yeah.
And just kind of.
I think that's been the problem, is I haven't been like, this is my brand, this is who I am, this is what I do. Like, I've been reluctant to do that for whatever reason, and I just need to lean into it.
Yeah, for sure. And then, especially as like the local shows kind of come and go, they'll just kind of
figure it out. They'll figure it out.
Especially if you start posting from because your Instagram's that's Back
Row King, yeah.
Or is it? Okay.
Yeah, no, it's Back Row King.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't have a Facebook, other than my personal one, which I hardly ever use.
Yeah.
TikTok, I deactivated it. Yeah. I think we talked about this earlier. I deactivated my Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all that for a while, and man, that was nice. But
every once in a while, I'm so addicted to Instagram. I had it set up for the longest time where, for like the last 6 months, I had it set up where it was still on my phone, but I wasn't getting notifications.
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted to see if I wasn't getting those notifications saying, "Hey, so-and-so liked your reel," or whatever. If I'd use it less, I use it more. I use it more because
you got to check and see if somebody said something.
Yeah. And it's like,
no, I know exactly what you're saying.
And so then I was just like, okay, what do? Do I delete it? No, I can't delete it, because then I'm not going to be able to figure out how to, get back on it, because I can't remember half my passwords anyways. And so then I was just like, all right, let's turn the notifications back on, and we'll just live with it the way it is.
It seems like a necessary evil of our time.
Yeah.
But there are positives to it, too.
Oh, yeah. Even off our Instagram, we've grown so much, because I'm proactively trying to introduce us to new musicians and new people. Anytime somebody leaves a comment or a like, if they've done it before and they never responded to me, I don't really do it a whole lot. But if it's somebody new, I'll message them and be like, "Hey, thank you so much, appreciate you," and then just kind of leave it at that.
Yeah.
And then it opens up a line of communication and all that stuff.
There's definitely value to it. But I just, I find myself just mindlessly scrolling.
Yep.
And that's what I look up and an hour's gone. I'm like, man, that was a real waste of time. But
that's what happened when you texted me right before this, like, "Hey, I'm here," and I was in the middle of a doom scroll on TikTok, or not TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and I realized I was like, "Oh, I gotta go finish getting ready here." So hey, give me like 2 minutes.
Yeah. So that's one thing I've never fallen into is YouTube. Do you use YouTube a lot?
Oh, I use it. I watch more YouTube than I do actual TV.
I just never have gotten into it for whatever reason. Every once in a while I look up something on there, but it seems like everybody, I just don't interact with it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I think I made one for my music stuff, but I don't think I've ever done anything with it.
Oh yeah, it's I watch more YouTube than I do regular. The only thing I will watch on TV is like live sports.
Okay.
Like I'll go watch like football or whatever, and other than that, it's kind of is what it is. It's
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff on there, but I just never interact with it for whatever reason. I think like I said earlier, I think I'm just getting old.
It's one of those things where if it's hard to get started, but once you like really get into it, it's like it's almost a problem.
Yeah.
But then again, like for my day job, I'm so ingrained into so I work for 25 over on New Road over there. Or over there. I pointed over there for some reason.
I'm horrible with directions, so you get it pointed straight up, and I would have been like, I know where that's at.
But I'm so ingrained into the YouTube channel because nobody was like monitoring it, and we were monetized, and we were leaving a whole bunch of money on the table, and I'm like, guys, we're trying to fill this budget deficit that we're in, and I guarantee you I can get us to long term probably several tens of thousands of dollars a month.
Yeah.
We're talking long term, 5-10 years down the road, but in the short term I could probably get us about an extra 1,000-1,500, and in 90 to 120 days we were hitting about 1,000, 1,200.
That's crazy, man.
It's like,
so you know how to do all that stuff.
oh yeah, I had to teach myself. Like I literally,
I need to sit down with you and get you to teach me how to do that.
Right.
Because I need some of that sweet YouTube money,
right.
Man.
Well, for us personally on Live and Amplified, it ain't quite that sweet.
Yeah.
Like I think right now we're averaging about $1 a day.
Heck YouTube. Yeah.
But it's better than
you know how
nothing.
much I made? $0 a day. Fair. So yeah, that's a there's so many, like, I see all this stuff, all these people making money online. I'm like, I could figure that out.
Right.
If I just wanted to.
Right.
If I would just sit down and...
Facebook almost got me to like fully commit to going back in and posting like hardcore about everything, because they were paying out remittance money. So basically, if you were a content creator and you were posting like videos and stuff that were generating ad revenue, they were paying you a remittance check. And there was a couple of months in there where I had posted some stuff that had gotten some real traction, and all of a sudden out of nowhere I get a PayPal from Facebook that says, "Hey, here's your remittance check for $15." And I'm like, why the hell is Facebook? Okay. Why is Facebook paying me $15? Like, I don't get this. And I thought it was like either they were charging me $15 and taking $15 out of my account, so I had to like go do a double take.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, they're adding $15. Wow. And I had to go like do research. What is a remittance check? And they're like, oh, it's like their ad share program. And I'm like,
right on.
And then they got me that first time, and I was like, okay, we're gonna double down. And then the next time it was like $1, and I'm like, and then it was like 12 cents, and I'm like, okay,
it's still something, man.
Yeah.
There's so much money out there that you just got to figure out how to get it,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I've always been under the impression that I'm supposed to like work super hard for it, and not that doing this stuff is not work, doing that YouTube and all that is not work, but it's just like, it's just a whole new world, man. Oh, yeah. And it's either figure it out or you get left behind, I guess.
Yeah, the real place that we've really seen the growth is Twitch. Like, if you want to just a place that has endless opportunities to make money, sign up on Twitch.
Really?
And buy a little cheap interface, and plug your guitar in, get a vocal mic, and just start playing songs. And it'll take you a little bit to kind of catch on and all that stuff, but you know, people come in and like music is booming on there right now.
And who do you get paid by? Like Twitch?
So basically what happens is once you hit a certain like stat point, I don't remember how many followers or I don't remember what the stat point is, but once you hit this certain stat point, you become a Twitch partner. And then they start giving you ad share revenue. So basically what happens is you can program it to however often you want commercial breaks to hit and how long you want the breaks to be. So if you want to do them like every 45 minutes and make them like a minute break, depending on how many people you have watching, they have an algorithm that figures that all out, and it goes towards your total for the month.
Wow.
And then if you have fans that, I hate advertising, I'm going to become a subscriber, and it's like $5 a month, and Twitch takes a lot of the percentage.
Sure.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But off that $5, I think you get like $2.20 off of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, you see all these Twitch streamers, they've got thousands of subscribers, and it's like, so you're telling me they're taking home a couple $1,000 a month?
Yeah, I got to figure that out.
Yeah.
You know, Twitch is one of those things I've never interacted with, save for, I think you know my buddy BK.
Yeah.
BK in the Understanding. You know, he does a Twitch stream every Sunday.
Yeah.
And I got to be on that with him, and I'd never gone to Twitch.com or never done whatever you'd have to do, and it's really interesting to watch. You know, I'll click in on his stuff every once in a while, and it's just something I don't interact with, but I probably should.
Yeah, it's,
you know, especially if I want to get stuff out there. You know.
And it's a good thing, it's a good, especially for musicians. The way I keep telling them, it's like, if you're one of those musicians that like to practice and just like learn new songs and just like, because you're gonna have to have a catalog of like cover music and stuff like that, but that's just the name of that game, you know. But if it's a really good opportunity for you to just like have a dedicated time every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, you know, like whatever kind of schedule you want to set up. And it's like, okay, I know at least from 6 to 9 on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I've got 3 hours. I can pretty much do whatever I want to do. I can write a song. I can learn new songs.
That's really interesting. That's a really good idea.
And I keep telling them, treat it like practice. Like,
that's a really good idea. Yeah. So what do you need to get on there and make it sound good? Like stuff like this?
Yeah.
Like,
so basically, you don't have to get an interface like this in depth. They sell like little 2-channel interfaces. I think you probably get one for $60-$80 from Musicians Friends or Sweetwater or wherever you go. And then honestly, mics, just whatever you're comfortable paying for. You can go get a Shure whatever for $100 and like, I mean,
I'm gonna look into that. You've inspired me.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Then like camera wise, like you don't even have to go as crazy as I do. You could use whatever you got on your laptop or your phone, you know?
Yeah.
So I've seen people do everything straight off their phone, and the audio ain't that great. But, you know, like when you're a week in. Yeah.
It you know, as you're learning too, you can, once you get that sweet Twitch money.
Yeah.
Upgrade. I saw something like T-Pain was making like $5,000 an hour playing video games on there or something.
Oh, video games are insane.
Just that blows my mind.
Today's episode of Live and Amplified's Indie Fusion podcast is sponsored by Chime. Looking for a better way to bank? Sign up for Chime using our Live and Amplified referral link in the description below. With no hidden fees and the ability to get paid up to 2 days early, Chime makes banking easy. Plus, when you use our link and set up a qualifying direct deposit of $200 or more, you'll score a $100 bonus. Sign up today and start banking smarter with Chime using Live and Amplified's referral link in the description below. Now back to our show. Like, I don't watch a lot of the video game streamers on there just because it's like I haven't been in that world in so long. I other than Call of Duty and Madden, I couldn't name.
Dude, the last video game system I had was a PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
And
PlayStation 2.
It's the best.
Right.
It's the best. It was the peak. It's all been downhill since then.
Right.
I haven't tried anything since then, but
Fair. I have it set up to stream, except nobody wants to watch me play like NCAA football 2007. So it's just like whatever.
not a big market out there for that.
Not a big market for that one. So it's like whatever. It's cool. I don't care. But no, it's super easy. Like
so we're on Twitch right now.
Yeah, we're on Twitch right now. And I'm just kind of monitoring on my phone.
Right on.
We don't have the biggest Twitch following, but I also don't promote Twitch that much. Because we used to live stream on Facebook, especially during the pandemic. Like, that was the move. And we were doing all right on Facebook, but then, like you had mentioned earlier, they wanted us to start paying to promote it, and I'm like, I'm keeping people on your platform by doing this. Yeah. I'm not paying to promote this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm generating ad revenue for you. You should be paying me, not the other way around.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
So, how's it been getting back into the bookings? What shows you got coming up?
I've got, let's see, September 6th, I've got The Goat in Morgan, Texas.
Okay.
With my buddy Justin Graham. It's a new place that just opened up there fairly recently. It's going to be my first time there, so I'm excited to get in there. And then on the 19th of September, I'm playing with Christian Carlos Carvajal at the Cicada in Fort Worth.
Okay.
He does a really cool, every Thursday he hosts two songwriters. So he's the host, and he'll invite two songwriters to come up and do like a song swap.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool deal. I've got to play it once before, so I'm going to do that on the 19th. Who's playing with us? Corey Michael, the guy from Fort Worth.
Nice.
And then on the 20th, I've got the Greenwood Saloon in Bluffdale, one of the really cool venue. If you've never been there, have you ever been there?
No, I don't go to. I was going to go to Bluffdale once, and then it was during like some Bluffdale fest or something.
Oh yeah.
And I pulled in, and I was just like, I'm good.
It's a cool venue, man. It's a cool little bar. And then the 21st, I'm at Woody's Hamburgers in Hamilton.
Okay. So
all kind of, closer to Cranfell's Gap. Those are. That's just the way they worked out. And then, I got the Jam
in October.
October, which I'm super stoked about.
I'm glad that's going on. The first conversation I had with Dustin, I think it was maybe in like April or something. Like, it was a couple months before the get together in May out in Hico. And I was slightly concerned he wasn't going to do the event this year.
Yeah, there's just so much work that goes into it, man. It's just it's a lot of moving parts, So yeah, I'm super stoked it's going down too. This will be my third year playing it, which I'm just incredibly grateful I get to come back and do it, man. It's because it's such a cool thing.
Yeah, it's good times. It's a Texas family reunion for the most part. It's there's some names on the list that at least the list that I saw. I don't know if that's the full list or whatnot, but some names that aren't on that list, I'm like, oh, dang, that kind of sucks that they're not coming back. But, I get it. Like, you only have so much room.
Yeah. And, man, it's the lineup this year looks pretty sick, man. So I'm excited to see everybody.
Yeah.
Last year's was just incredible. Year before last was incredible. It's just a good time, man, all around. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
I wish I had stuck that first year I was there. So we both had the same first year. That year, I wish I had stuck around a little bit longer, but it was also my dad came into town, so I was just like,
last year you stayed the whole time, right?
Yeah. Well, I was there, and then I ended up going out to New Mexico afterwards.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Because it was like, it was Sunday, and I didn't realize, like, I knew there was some stuff that was going to happen Sunday morning, and, so I was like, okay, that's cool, and then I'll just kind of boogie out afterwards, and then as I'm trying to leave, like, noon on Sunday, there's a couple guys that are like, no, you can't leave yet. Like, what's his name? The other guy that does the podcast.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Off mic, off record.
Yeah. He was like, oh, you can't leave yet. And I'm like, I got to go to New Mexico. He's like, I promise you, just hang out for 20 minutes. It'll only take 15 after that. I'm like, okay. And then after that, it was just like, oh, we need you to do, or we need to talk to you about this or whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
crap.
I gotta go.
Guys, I got an 8-hour drive, and
Yeah.
it's going to be midnight before I even get into New Mexico. And
Yeah.
at that point, I was probably hungover anyway. So it was just like,
Yeah, last year, man, I think I was the first person there and the last one to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just didn't want to go, because I got there Wednesday afternoon and set up camp, and I was the only person there.
yeah.
And I didn't leave till Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
I got to do some stuff with Aaron that afternoon. Yeah, it was I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
I haven't had a chance to ask Dustin yet, but I really like so we did that live we tried to do that live podcast thing on, what was it, Saturday morning or whatever it was. And that so one of the reasons I went out to Nashville in June, I did like a full blown out version of that. Like
Okay.
5 musician, host, co-host, all this stuff. And it's like, I like how that feels. Like, just, we weren't in front of a big audience. It was kind of like, actually, I would say probably In a Jam was a bigger audience than we had at the place in Nashville,
Okay.
if I'm being honest. But, it's just like, I want to do more of those. Get in a crowd, all that stuff.
That's fun, man.
So, what, you said you're playing Friday at Inner Jam?
Yes, yeah, Friday at 3:00 in the bar, if I'm remembering right.
Nice.
Yeah, with Christian Carlos Carvajal, a guy from Fort Worth.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad he's keeping that in a bar like that.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm looking forward to it.
It keeps everybody cool instead of having to like sit out in the sun and die all day.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, not that it's super sunny, because like down where the main stage is, it's not like it's sunny, but there's places to kind of hide.
Yeah.
But keeping it in the bar for a few hours just to kind of
I'm looking forward to it.
bring reprieve.
It's gonna be cool.
Do some more songwriting and all that stuff.
Yeah. It's that's what's cool about the jam, man. It's just a bunch of like music nerds, summer camp.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, we'll be doing. I talked to Dustin. We're gonna do a documentary, like a little doc thing.
That'll be cool.
Because it's year 5, and whether there's gonna be year 6 or not, like that I feel like it's one of those deals where year by year you just never know.
Yeah.
But I figured for a festival to make it 5 years, that's a milestone that needs to be remembered. And I've told a few friends in Nashville, or people that I've had on the podcast in Nashville that are from Texas, and they're like, dude, that's sick. Like, they're in Nashville, but they're from Texas. And I tell them, well, it's in New Braunfels down on the river. They're like, that's actually a sick idea.
Yeah.
And so it's like trying to get other people excited to like maybe come out, but to get musicians to come from Nashville just to hang out, it's like, that's probably a big ask, but you never know if they're on tour and they've got 3 days off.
Yeah.
Because like all it takes is that one time, and you'll hook them every year.
Every year. You're right.
Hopefully he found sponsors though. Like I tried to help him out and get him in contact with a few people, but
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's just a lot of time, a lot of money.
Right. And anybody specifically on the lineup this year that you're looking forward to?
Man, I'm excited to see. You got John Fulbright coming back this year. I'm super stoked because his set last year was really cool.
Yeah.
The Des Lawns, I'm super excited to see because I wasn't familiar with their stuff until I saw they were playing, and I've been listening to it a lot more, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Like, I'm super stoked to see them. Casper Allen, he's coming back, which is really cool. Gus Clark, everybody, man. It's just it's so stacked.
Yeah.
And then like just all my friends as well. Just there's so many cool people that I've met in Fort Worth since I've been up there that are coming down to play, which is really cool to see. So it's gonna be cool to hang with all them and you see people I haven't seen since last year. It's everybody.
That's the crazy thing about the Texas music scene in general is it's like you could be and I was talking to Dustin about it when he was on. I was like, you could be friends with everybody and not see them for a year, and it's okay.
Yeah, because everybody's moving, going somewhere. You know, if that's the goal. You know, is that you're out doing stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I was like, if I end up moving to Nashville or something, and it's like, because the big deterrent always was like, well, I've got something good going here. What do I want to move? And then I think about it, it's like, I only see these guys like 2 or 3 times a year anyways.
Yeah.
So like, as long as I'm willing to make a drive down every once in a while, it's really not that big of a deal, you know?
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool to be a part of so many, like, you know, there's so many talented people, man. It's just it's incredible, really, just the amount of talent that's out there. You know, it's it's just, I'm stoked to see everybody. As far as like, you know, like Ghost Dance Band, they've played, I think they've played every one. Yeah. They're so good. And you know, just all like the regular the other songwriters who kind of do what I do, just the acoustic stuff, you know, like it's just fun all around, man.
Yeah, for sure. So what's the you're obviously, we talked a little bit about the challenge that you're going to do in September. Have you started thinking about different stuff you're going to write during that, or are you going to just kind of leave it?
Kind of leaving it. I've got a couple little ideas, but I'm kind of leaving it up to like the inspiration of the day. I don't want to be too prepared and go in with this mindset of like, oh, I got to do this song. I just want to be like, oh, I saw a squirrel today. Let's write a song about that squirrel. You know, I'm kind of, that's how I'm leaning more toward it.
Now, is it you and Cameron, or?
Yeah, that's he and I have talked about it. I don't know if he's got any more people roped into it yet, or all, you know, but yeah, it was just kind of a spur of the moment idea that we were talking about the other day, and he was like, "Hey, man, you want to write a song every day in September?" I was like, "Yeah."
Almost sounds like I need to move up to Fort Worth.
Dude, Fort Worth is cool, man. Yeah. It's I've enjoyed being there. You know, I've been there since November of last year.
Yep, I remember that.
And I've got to meet so many cool people. Like, the scene has been so welcoming. It's really, really inspiring to be around. You know, because I've been going to like a Magnolia Motor Lounge on Tuesday nights. They do songwriter night.
Yep.
The amount of talent that comes through there is unbelievable, man. Like, every night you'll see somebody who just knocks you dead with their songs and their voice and their playing. It's just it's really cool to be a part of.
I'll actually be coming up to Magnolia Motor Lounge. Oh, what day is it? It's in like October, right before Interjam. No. Maybe it's after Interjam. I don't know. There's a guy I met at CMA Fest, Tyler Booth. He's coming to Magnolia Motor Lounge, and it's going to be like, I keep hearing all these stories about how cool the venue is. Yeah, and it's like, okay, it's a
cool place, man. The sound's always great. The people working there are cool, and the crowds are always really cool. So yeah. Let me know when you get up there, man. We'll hang out.
I was like, I thought I had it in my calendar, but I guess I don't. So whatever, it is.
Yeah,
what it
it's
is.
a cool spot, man, and. Yeah, I was a little worried right after I moved to Fort Worth. A couple like cool venues closed down. I'm like, oh no, what did I bring with me? I brought the plague.
Right.
But you know, that's the nature of change. You know, things change, and something else will go in there, and you know, you just find the next place and keep going.
Right. And then you're saying you're helping Dustin out by renting out his spot.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. It's been a cool deal.
Nice. That's really sick. It's going to be a good year, good end of the year, and then 2025 will be fun. And
I can't believe it's 2025, man.
Yeah, it'll be 90 days. Or,
we're close.
September,
we're close.
Oh, 4 months. Yeah, not 90 days, 120 days. I don't know why I try and pretend to do math, but you know, it is what it is.
We weren't even supposed to make it past 2012, man, and here we are at 2025. You know,
right? It's coming. It's coming. So as far as music and whatnot, that's just kind of the plan. See how this challenge in September treats you.
I really want to get some more stuff recorded.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I would like to do, you know, the EP I have out. It's been out for a year now.
Yeah,
and it was just strictly me and an acoustic guitar, you know. And I would like to kind of do one that's a little more fleshed out.
Yeah,
you know, I'll have some like full band touches and and maybe not go too crazy because you know the music I prefer to listen to is generally just a guy and a guitar or a girl and a guitar, and but I think I would like something a little more fleshed out for my next project. So I really want to get some more stuff recorded soon. I just gotta find what do they call that stuff? Time and that other stuff, money. Yeah. You gotta have those, and so I've got more time than money. So
yeah. Fair enough. I'd really like to see you and Dustin do another song. But
I'd love to, man. Yeah, it was.
Then again, I had a couple of off the. I don't know how often you. I mean, obviously you live at a spot, so I'm sure you talk to him pretty regularly. He's told me some of the stuff that he's got burning behind the scenes. And
dude is busy.
Yeah,
dude is busy.
Like even like his personal life with his day job and all that stuff, and then. He told me some stuff that's going on with his music. And all that.
Dude is very busy. He's got a lot of irons in the fire, which is good. It's good. But I'd love to do some more stuff with him, man. And I'd like to do some more collaborating with other people. It was a lot of fun. It was a real rewarding experience working with Dustin on that. I'm really excited that I got to be a part of it. Right. And like I said, it's been cool. I guess I guess whatever distributor he used, it's on like jukeboxes in Fort Worth. Yeah. That's cool though. Nice. Look up your name on a jukebox. It's pretty rad.
Yeah, that's sick. And then that song that you wrote with Anna Lamare down at
yeah. We need to. I'd like to get it recorded. Maybe we can do that.
Do you remember it? That's the real question.
Dude, it's been so long since I've sang it. Like she and I actually performed it together like 3 or 4 times. Yeah. Like she came up to Fort Worth a few times and played. And she would get me up on stage to sing it with her, which singing without a guitar in your hands is a weird feeling, man. Yeah. But, it's, I think I remember most of it. I know I've got it written down at the house too. Yeah. So I could, but we did a take of it with Aaron from off mic, off the record. So maybe that'll see the light of day sometime soon. Yeah.
I was going to ask because I sat down and did like a little 15-minute interview and I never saw it get released, but I'm guessing he's probably waiting to put it out.
Yeah, I'm sure he's building it all up. He just took a little hiatus from his podcast, but I think he released a new episode today actually. So.
I'll have to check it out. I try and pay attention, but my Instagram feed is just like so ridiculous. It's I can't keep up with everyone. I'm sorry. I try. And even BK, it's like I try and jump in on his streams on what does he do? Sunday nights,
Sunday evenings,
Sunday nights. I was there for a little bit when you were on because I saw the notification pop up or whatever, and then when Dustin was on, I need to try and set something up with him, but he's been getting he's been doing it every week now for the majority of weeks. And it's been cool to see it grow, man. It's fun to watch. I think he played a show last night in Waxahachie, if I'm not mistaken. Nice. Yeah, I think it was Waxahachie. Is that how you pronounce it? Okay, because I've been calling it Waxahachie.
I think it's Waxahachie. That's how I've always heard it. So.
That's always the funny thing is that it's like training people that just move here on all the like city Mejia's the one that always trips people up.
Yes.
It's like
there's that one. It looks like I think even Lyle Lovett mentioned it in a song. It looks like Palacios, but it's Palacios. Yeah. There's all kinds of weird names like that. But I'm from Cranfell's Gap, so I can't say much.
Yeah, fair enough. And it's it's just one of those things where this entire area is so cool, and I'm glad whether I'm here the rest of my life, another 2 years, whatever it is, like this has been a really cool 5 years.
Good, man. I'm glad you dug it, man.
When I guess 6 years technically, because I just re-signed my lease here.
Right on.
Because I was, they didn't give me a reason to leave. Like I was waiting for them to jack my rent up again, and I was like, oh, if they do anything more than like $20-$30, I'm leaving. Like I'm not doing it. And then they're like, hey, we're going to keep your rent the same. And I'm like,
all right, I guess I'll stay around then.
I don't have to leave then. Cool.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
But then it also didn't hurt that they sent it to me on like August 15th. And they're like, you got to have this signed by the 31st. Otherwise, we're going to jack your rent up. And I'm like, sign it. Here you go. I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, keep it the same.
And then as soon as that happened, the power goes. Last Saturday, I went to go get some breakfast. Came back, the power was knocked out. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh crap, did I forget to pay my electric bill or
Yeah.
whatever? And I'm looking and I'm like, nope, my bill ain't due till like the 3rd or something, so that wasn't it. And I started paying attention to everybody's power was out. And so the bathroom, finally a couple hours later, the power comes back on, and I go in, the bathroom light fixture blew out. And so like the light will turn on, but then it flickers and then it dies.
Oh,
it's
wow.
like an LED panel thing.
Yeah.
And so I've been showering in the dark like a caveman for the last
There you go.
week. And I put it at a help desk, and they're like, oh, we'll get to it. I'm like, okay, cool. It's been a week, and I just resigned. It'd be nice if you guys could fix that for me, because...
They got you now, though. They don't have to do anything.
Right.
They're like, oh, you're here for a year, bro.
Hey,
You're stuck.
I'm stuck.
You're
Well,
stuck.
I think technically I could get out as long as I still give them the 30 days before the lease starts.
Yeah,
There's a whole thing, so... But, you know, it is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
So, outside of music, what have you been getting into recently?
It's just a lot of day job, and I work in a furniture shop, and we're doing building a lot of bed frames.
Okay.
Loblolly is the name of the place I work for, down in Morgan, and we've been building a lot of furniture, man. Other than that, that's about it.
So you're actually using one of your passions of woodworking.
Yeah,
and stuff?
yeah, I get to do something I like to do, man. So that's fun. It's not fun when it's 110 degrees outside and there's no air conditioning in the shop. But other than that, yeah, it's good, man. It's good.
Now, do you guys do a lot of that? Like, for whatever reason on Instagram, I've been going down these rabbit holes of guys making tables of reclaimed wood, not reclaimed wood, but like trees.
Uh-huh.
And then they use like resin or
Like
something.
the epoxy stuff in there?
resin,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Do you guys do stuff like that? as
No,
well?
man. What we've been doing lately is just pretty much exclusively these bed frames. We make them out of cherry and walnut, and they're real simple, clean, minimalist bed frames. But we cut them all out and put them all together and then ship them out. We've been doing a ton of those, man. That's mainly what we do all day now is make those bed frames.
So very Amish-like.
Yeah, they're if I'm remembering the website right, they're inspired by the Shaker dormitories of Massachusetts or something like that. Yeah, they're really cool though. Really nice beds.
Nice. That's cool. I dig it. And then, so between that and music, that's your life right now?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think what else has been going on. Oh, that's about it. Just come home tired from work and go to sleep. Try to get out in Fort Worth and go do stuff, but it's all normally music related.
Yeah, fair.
I'll go to an open mic Tuesday or Wednesday night. Still doing those. Enjoy doing those.
You go out to like Jerry's World and all that stuff in Dallas?
No, I've been to Dallas once since I've lived up there. Dallas is a little overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
Fort Worth seems a little more manageable.
Yeah, fair enough.
I went to, where did I go to Dallas for? It was a vintage clothes convention.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
I really like vintage clothes.
Nice.
And they had this big convention at the convention center there, some convention center, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
Everything was too expensive for me to buy, but it was cool to look at stuff.
For sure.
That's
probably what I should be doing, is going to like Goodwill and stuff, and like all the band T-shirts and like,
dude. Yeah, I did that almost for a living for a while.
Yeah.
Just going to like Goodwill and buying stuff and reselling it, and selling stuff on eBay and stuff I could find around the house, and you can turn a profit on some stuff, man.
When I was in Tallahassee, I was not making, like, I had to do that to make ends meet. Like I couldn't afford to live in Tallahassee, and I'd kind of gotten myself into a situation where it's like I can't really leave, so I just got to make this work. And so I started going. I was listening to a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk at the time.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, I still do. I got one of his books.
I thought that's who that was. I've seen that name before.
Yeah. And so I was sitting there, and he was really pushing garage sales, and so I went out to a garage sale, and I bought some old lady's like Care Bear collection for $14, and she was like, "Yeah, here you go, $14." I'm like, "Cool." I don't know what I bought. One of them was like the original 1980s blue Care Bear something or another, and I posted it on eBay, and I got like $70 off it.
Isn't that cool, man?
And I'm like,
that's so much fun to me, dude. Like, I think my best one I ever did, I bought a I think it was a 1974 Incredible Hulk action figure still in the box. I paid $45 for it at an estate sale, which was more than I
probably should have. Yeah.
But I ended up selling it on eBay for, I think, $375.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there. And I was, that was rad, man. And dude, I think the best I ever did on anything though, I was in Salvation Army, which I actually stopped there before I came over here today. I didn't find anything today. But I found this this cool looking case sitting on the shelf, and it was like $15. And so I opened it up. I said, and it was real heavy. And I opened it up, and it was a court reporter machine, a stenographer machine.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's got to be worth something.
Right.
So I bought it and took it home. Like I said, I paid like $15 for it. I called a few people I thought might be interested in it, and they weren't. So I found this company online that buys them. And I called them. They're like, yeah, just mail us what you have, and we'll give you, we'll make an offer on it if it's something we're interested in.
Yeah.
So like I said, I paid $15 for this thing. I had to ship it to this company, which was like $70 to ship it because it was heavy.
Yeah.
And then a few days later, they called me and like, oh, Mr. Johnson, we got your machine. You don't have this part, this part. Most we're going to be able to give you for it is $420. I'm like, oh, darn.
Dang.
Yeah. And they sent me a check, man. It was a cool deal.
Right.
Yeah. Man, stuff like that is so much fun to me, though, man, finding stuff like that.
See, what I like about garage sailing and going to do all that stuff is it's like controlled gambling.
Yes.
Like the gamble is finding what you want or what you're looking for. It's not like actual gambling, but it's like you're gambling on if there's something going to be.
Yeah, because you don't have to buy anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas like during the pandemic, I really got into like baseball cards and stuff like that. And like that's actual gambling.
Yeah.
Like you go buy a pack of baseball cards and you're hoping you get that rookie card or that short print or whatever. And I got some of that. Like I made some good, like if I say, oh, hey, I paid $4 for this pack of cards and I sold one card out of it for $300.
Yeah.
That's a good return.
Yeah.
But what they don't tell you is the $900 in packs that I had to buy to get to this one thing. So it's just like,
that's what I was talking to. It's funny you mentioned cards. I was talking to a buddy of mine this week actually about him and his son are real into sports cards right now. He was talking about what some of them are worth and stuff. Dude, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I saw something, and whether this is true or not, I don't know. But I saw something. I think it was on Facebook. It was like a Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan autographed card. It had like a piece of jersey or something in it, or something in it. And someone offered a guy $8 million for it, and he turned it down.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
They're not to sound morbid, but they're waiting for Michael Jordan to die.
Oh, dude, it'll go
ballistic. Like,
that's crazy. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, they're waiting for Michael Jordan to die, and then they'll be able to quadruple that because there will be there's already no more Kobe autos.
Yeah.
Once there's no more Michael autos. That's
crazy to think about. I didn't even think about that, man. That's wild.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to turn down $8 million, though.
Oh yeah. It's like that's like instant out of debt.
Yeah. I was moving out of homie must be doing better than I am to turn that down.
Right. Like even $10,000. It's like man,
that's banana. Did you ever watch this show? I think it's on Netflix. It's like this guy runs like a high end auction house.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what it's called, but he's always auctioning off sportsman memorabilia and stuff like that. And just the amount of money that is involved in stuff like that, it just blows my mind.
That's the real like gimme right there is opening the auction house because all you have to do is sell it and you take a commission off it.
Yeah.
Like you know,
that's pretty sweet gig.
Right? It's really cool. But I really enjoyed the conversation with you.
Yeah, same, man. It's always good to see you.
We'll do it again at LNAMusicReview, all that fun stuff.
Can't wait.
Hopefully, man, I'm gonna try and not get too drunk this year. There was a day in there where I was like,
you gotta pace yourself.
Yeah, But it was fun though. Like I don't think
Yeah.
I ever got too out of line. So,
No, not that I remember.
but if anybody wants to check out your music, all that fun stuff, where's the best place to find you?
Man, you can find my EP. It's all over like Spotify, Apple Music, all that. It's all under the name Back Row King. That's 3 words: BACKROWKING. The EP is called Firewood for Sale, so you can find all that there. Other than that, the best place to get in touch with me is Instagram, and that's at Back Row King.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Well, I really appreciate it, man.
Hey man, thank you.
And thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll catch y'all later.
Good deal.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of Live and Amplified's Indie Fusion podcast. If you'd like to support anything Live and Amplified does, please follow us on all of our social media platforms at Live, the letter N, Amplified. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, Threads, any of them, all of them, at Live, the letter N, Amplified. And if you would like to buy any official Live and Amplified merch, you can do so at our merch shop, link in the description below. Once again, thank you all. Have a great day.